Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today, just like I said at the end of my last video, it is time for me to reveal what my favourite Christmas anime episode is. And that is Toradora episode 19, The Christmas Eve Party. Oh boy, do I love this episode. How many of you thought I was going to say the quintuplets Christmas episode from season 2, though, at the very start of this year? But no, it has been and still remains as Toradora. So let's get into it. The episode begins with Ryuji and Taiga at home getting ready to head off to the Christmas party. And they're dressed up a lot more fancily than normal, as it is a party. So Ryuji has a nice suit on, and Taiga has... I mean, the best way to describe it is basically funeral clothing, because she's like wearing all black. And has her head all done up. So Ryuji and Taiga head off to the Christmas party with, of course, the main goal being to find a way to get Kushieda to actually go to the Christmas party, because that's where Ryuji plans to confess his feelings to her. But of course, Kushieda doesn't want to go because in the previous episode, while she was having softball practice, she hit a dinger straight through the windows of the school's gym and smashed the star on top of the Christmas tree. Even though they managed to get it repaired, she still felt she couldn't go because of that. So Taiga and Ryuji arrive at the party, and Taiga quickly goes missing while Ryuji mans the punch bowl. He hadn't even noticed she'd gone missing until the lights go off. Then the curtains from behind Kitamura rise up, the spotlight is turned on, and then we have Taiga and Kawashima singing a Christmas song. And this song, oh, it is so heartwarming to watch. Not only because the song itself is actually quite good, and the thing that really is good about it is the fact that no matter whether you're watching the English sub or the English dub, the song is sung in Japanese, which I think is a very nice touch. It's always nice when they have songs that, no matter which version of the show you're watching, it's sung in Japanese either way. And the fact that Taiga and Kawashima have been pretty much bitter enemies ever since they met earlier in the show, are now together on stage, wearing the exact same outfits, by the way, singing a Christmas song together to just bring joy to the entire room. It's something no other Christmas episode of any other anime has managed to do just as well, in my opinion. Afterwards, Taiga then heads off to Kushieda's house to try and get her plan to work exactly the way she wants. The plan was, go to the party, sing the Christmas song, leave, go to Kushieda's house, try and convince her to go to the Christmas party, and then Ryuji takes it from there, and Taiga goes home. So the next part of her plan, convincing Kushieda to actually go, does work, even with a little bit of help from a call Ryuji made to her earlier in the episode. And Tiger heads off home. But Ryuji realizes, wait a minute, if I'm with Kushieda on Christmas, then that means Tiger will be all alone. So Ryuji heads off home. On the way, he borrows a bear with a Santa costume within it off someone. And then he goes to his own house, opens the window, balances on his balcony to grab onto Tiger's and taps the window. This, of course, scares Tiger, because why wouldn't a random tapping on your window scare you? So she goes into her bedroom, weapon in hand, opens the curtains, and see that a bear is grabbing or holding onto her balcony. So she asks if it's Santa. Of course, inside of the bear costume is Ryuji, and he just nods. Of course, he can't say anything in the bear costume, but he's basically like, could you let me in, please? As his legs give way from his balcony, which means he's now hanging off the edge of Tiger's. So she lets him in. And she shows Ryuji a very tiny little, like, crystal Christmas tree next to a candle. And says to him, do you love my Christmas tree? Do you love it? Ryuji just gives her the thumbs up. And the two of them embrace in a big hug, which just really gives Tiger the Christmas present she wanted. Because she'd spent the previous episode suddenly acting nice to everyone. Because, you know, she wants to be a good girl for Christmas and all that. So then Ryuji starts swinging her around, giving Tiger the best Christmas present she could have ever asked for. Only for then Ryuji to end up falling over, and Tiger takes off the bear head, where it reveals to us that it's actually Ryuji, even though we could probably tell anyway. Even if you were watching this show for the first time, you could tell it's Ryuji. Tiger thanks him for the moment he just gave her, but then tells him Minori's on her way to the party. She might even be there right now. Get your ass out there and go find her. Ryuji then questions it because it means that Tiger will be all alone, which is the whole reason he came back in the first place. But Tiger tells Ryuji she's happy now because he gave her the moment she wanted. So Ryuji leaves to head back to the party to find if Kushieda's actually even there. And Tiger thinks that she's happy, only to realise that she starts crying. And why does she start crying? Because I think this is the very first moment in the show. It had been hinted at before, but I feel this is the very first moment in this show where Tiger starts to realise that she's actually in love with Ryuji and not Kitamura. So she runs out of her house faster than you've ever seen her run before to see if Ryuji's still there. He's not, because he's gone back to he's well on his way to head back to the Christmas party to see if Kushida's still there. So Tiger lets out a big yell of Ryuji's name, and who just so happens to walk by at the time that she says that? if your guess was Kushieda herself, you'd be correct. Because it is Kushieda. So Kushieda sees this and heads back towards the school. And she just so happens to stumble across Ryuji. And this is where this episode can be considered heartwarming and heartbreaking at the very same time. Because, on the one hand, the song that Taiga and Kawashima sang much earlier in the episode is the very heartwarming part, and then the moment Ryuji gave Taiga is another heartwarming part. But then you've got the heartbreaking part of the episode, so where Taiga starts crying, realizing that she actually loves Ryuji, or this next part coming up, where Kushieda mentions to Ryuji, "Do you remember when we talked about UFOs and ghosts at Army's beach house?" This, of course, is in relation to a previous episode where they all went to a beach house that Army owned. Army is Kawashima, for anyone who didn't know. So he, of course, does remember, and she says, "Maybe I don't need to see ghosts or UFOs to be happy." Basically, without saying the actual words, "I don't want to go out with you," that basically is what she's implying to him, and then she leaves. He isn't even allowed to respond to her. She says it, and then runs off. So Ryuji just falls on his back, clearly distraught that the girl he had been in love with for over a year has just turned him down, and he didn't even get to ask her. That's probably what makes this feel even worse for him. The fact that he didn't even get to properly ask her. And she still turned him down. And the episode ends with the same song that Army and Taiga sang at the very start of the episode. Instead of playing the regular ending theme song like it has in the previous few episodes, instead it plays that song, which I think is another great touch. I always like it when an anime incorporates a song from within its episode as the ending theme song to spice it up a little bit from what the regular ending theme song may be. But yes, that is my favourite Christmas episode of anime, the one from Toradora. This episode makes you feel so much joy from Taiga and Kawashima's song. It makes you laugh because Kitamura is partying a little bit too hard, and he's wearing a little bit. Well, no, not a little bit. He's definitely wearing not enough clothing. He's wearing those basically like dungaree straps, but without any actual thing the straps are attached to. Like, it's just, he's basically shirtless wearing straps. I know that sounds a lot weirder than it actually is. You know, where if you pull the strap back and then let go of it, it's going to smash into someone's back and you're going to be in excruciating pain if that happens. But yeah, I love this episode for the heartwarming moments it gives us, Kawashima and Taiga's song, Ryuji and Taiga's moment they share at her house, where Taiga gets the Christmas gift that she really wanted, to be with someone, not be lonely. But then we have the heartbreaking moments where Taiga realizes she's in love with Ryuji, and if he and Kushida got together, Taiga would truly be all alone, because Kinemura rejected her at the very start of the show, and Ryuji at so far doesn't really have any feelings for Taiga yet. Of course, that changes within the next 4 episodes. That has changed drastically. But it's just a beautiful, heartwarming episode that absolutely deserves, in my opinion, the right to be called the greatest Christmas episode of any anime. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this episode if you've seen it, or what's your favourite Christmas anime episode, because I'd be very interested to see what you guys think is the pinnacle of Christmas episodes in anime. Of course, other Christmas episodes I like are the ones from K-On! I think they're pretty good. The Quintuplets one is good, but it's nowhere near the level that the Toradora one is. Wow, did I just say something of the Quintuplets isn't the best? That's a first. But that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and there's only one more thing to do for 2021, and that is a year in review. But until then, catch you later.